If you are now joining, welcome to my session on content creation and development for social media management. My name is Nadia Owusu. I want to give it 5 minutes so we can, all be relaxed and wait for people who are joining into setting. Welcome, Emmanuel. I see you. So here's a bit about myself. I was just making sure everybody was following. So this is me. That's me in a nutshell. You can see happy pictures. You can see me very small in here. That's me in real life. I'm very small. I love digital marketing. I've been a trainer for almost a year now. I love to join communities that help build my skills, meet new people, connect apart from working all the time, engaging in profitable stuff that help me build on my knowledge, meet new connections, create change and everything. So I've been part of youth networks that help me explore my agency as a youth who's looking for sustainable development. That was me at the UNESCO headquarters, and that's me also representing young people at AU. I love women empowerment, so that's me with a bunch of women who came together to put an IT program for women to develop their skills in coding and tech. And yeah, apart from all the work I do, I love spending time with my friends. I love doing things that would, release the tension after a hard day's work. So I also love to party sometimes, not all the time though. So before we begin, let's just see if there are some questions for me. Okay, there are no questions so far. So we're going to go straight to content creation and development. Let me know your thoughts. What are your expectations? What you're looking to achieve today as I start. So we have less than 40 minutes to do this. So it'll be nice to hear from you. It seems like a lonely street here. So send me your questions because I can't hear you. I can't see you. So I need to know you're following. So I'm able to, put in my maximum best to present the best for you. What comes to mind when we hear content as digital marketers, as aspiring content creators, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as startup owners? What comes to our head when we think of content? Let me know if you can hear me, please. So what comes to our mind when we hear about content? Do we think about music? Do we think about pictures? What comes to mind when we see content anywhere we hear the word content? Because nowadays marketers are using content, and maybe some of us who are not in the mainstream don't know what content is. So I'm here to break it down for us in simple terms. Content is anything consumable. The word consumable means people have to take what you're bringing to them. So if they don't like it, they're not going to be able to consume it. It's something that is supposed to be a two-way thing. You send something out there and people accept it. So if people are not consuming your content, then it's not content. So it's anything that's consumable that extends or explains your brand. What are you doing? Are you an IT person? Are you into fintech? Are you into Bitcoin? Are you into healthcare? What kind of content are you putting? What kind of materials are you putting online or on social media? Are people consuming it? Or content can simply be the thing that you're using to enable your marketing or your marketing strategy. So it can be in the form of a piece of writing, a picture, let's say a video. Those are the elements that contribute as content. So Emmanuel is saying that content is what organizations use to convey a message to their audience. That's a great one there. Mostly content can be seen as a way of educating people. Let's get into some of the importance or the elements of content. The goal of content creation is to build brand reputation. So we see a lot of big brands out there like Nike, like Coca-Cola, like let's say some brands in Ghana like Unilever, like let's say Fanyogo, for instance. They are pushing content out there for brand reputation, awareness, and affinity. People want to push content on social media, not to sell per se, but to come on social media, not to always buy and sell, but to feel a connection with brands that they are following online. Content is also like the currency for marketing, just like any other kind of business. Content, without content, you can't market anything. Content is a way of educating your audience online to perform specific actions you want them to perform. So if you're online and you are pushing content, that's always to, sell your products, not giving people rewarding content to follow, then it means you're not giving your audience what they want. Strong pieces of content can help you make you more visible online. People come online to search for things, to search for solutions, to search for answers. So if you are pushing unique content out there, then people will be looking forward to you to say, oh, let me follow this brand. Let me turn on my notification for them. These people kind of send engaging opportunities. This kind of brand sends informative opportunities. So let me follow this brand. What are you doing for people to see you as a thought leader in your niche? Content can also be shared to enhance your social media strategy. So let's see. I can see Emmanuel saying there's 30 minutes. So yeah, we're going to maximize it. So don't worry at all. Before you start pushing out content, there's something you should be asking yourself. Nowadays, technology has filled our lives. Everybody is doing so much on social media. It can be very cumbersome. It can be hard. It can be tough when you're thinking of pushing content for people to consume, especially when you are running out of ideas. There are so many things that are happening on social media. In and day out, Facebook is advancing their platform. LinkedIn is tweaking something. Twitter is adding more features. So as a content creator, it can be very difficult to understand and follow the trends. Manuel is saying likes Fan Milk and Fan Yogo, their content. Yes, I like their ads too. It's some places I like to visit for inspiration. So as a marketer or as an individual or a starter or an entrepreneur, you should be asking yourself who, what, and where. These are the main questions, and also the how. Why are you going to be asking yourself these questions? You should be able to know who your audience is, or let's say what they look like, how old are they, where are they located. It's tough to try and imagine what your content, your audience looks like. So it's very necessary to research into your audience base to know that, okay, this kind of audience would gravitate towards my brand because this is what I'm doing and this is what they would want. You should be able to know what their pain points are, what they are looking for online, and especially what solutions you can offer them. People are not online just to have fun. Some people are actually looking for information to, solve their problems. Apart from who, what, you should ask yourself where. Where do these people spend so much time? Where are you going to find them? Where are they looking for solutions? And ask yourself, how are they looking for you, or how are they going to consume your content? People use iPhones, people use Android. If you are looking to create content, people are using their mobile devices as to using their laptops. So you should be able to create consumable content to suit all of these agencies, your what's, your where's, your house, and also your where. It's very integral when you're thinking of creating your content. Let's look at some examples of content types we can create. So we have infographics, we have blogs, we have articles. It's a lot. There are so many types of content you can create. So I would love if you can tell me some of the content types you think there are, apart from what I have listed here. We have ebooks, we have podcasts. For me, my favorites are the GIFs and the memes because these are the entertaining parts of your content strategies. We have interviews, we have case studies, we have testimonials. There's so on and so forth. So if you have any kind of content type that I've not listed here, I would love for you to put it in the chat box. Hi, Audrey, I see you. So there are so many kinds of content out there. What are you using for your business? I would love to know about it. For me, I use a lot of images. I use video content. I'm yet to start pushing out blog content, but I kind of write blogs for certain brands I work with. I don't know how Ghanaians react to memes, but nowadays a lot of brands are taking on using memes and GIFs online as to videos. Already mentioned the image slider, yes, the carousel. Naomi, I see you're using more videos to promote your brand. You can also mention the brands you are working with so that we can use them as case studies in our examples. So what's social media content creation? We've been talking about different types of content, how we are going to create content, but for every skill or for every activity, you should be able to know the brain behind it. So social media content creation is an art, and the one that requires an extra amount of patience. I highlighted patience because people don't have time when they come on social media. They create content and they just vanish. They create any kind of content and they want their online followers to just take it as it is. They don't have time to hire a photographer. They don't have time to hire a graphic designer. But if you want to be seen as a thought leader, or your brand should be able to create this homely feel for your users, you should be able to have patience. You should be able to be creative and also have an education around your graphic design, copy creation, and color composition. So you can see that MTN, anytime we see yellow on social media, we know that it's an MTN creative. How are they doing that? It's because of their color composition. What's your copy creation to? It's your writing, how people can see your writings, your captions, your video captions, your video directions, and know that this is a specific action you want them to perform. So social media content creation is all about an art of patience where you can blend your creativity, graphic design, copy creation, color composition to serve your audience with some form of information or content you would want them to take up. I thought of this rule. I saw it whilst I was researching some time ago and it served me well. That's the 50-20-20-10 rule. It's quite a lot to take up. 50-20-20-10 rule. If you know about this rule, you can, share your thoughts with me. I can see Fatiha joining. Hi there. So what's the 50-20-20 rule? It's the rule that refers to the percentage of different types of content categories your content should meet. So we just don't go online and just blast our social media handles and platforms with every kind of content with no clear-cut direction. We should be able to know that, okay, if I'm on social media, I'll be doing this amount of content for this month. The next month, I'll be doing this kind of content. It should be a blend. This helps you to avoid over. This helps you to stop bombarding people with too much content. Daniel says he knows about the 80-20 rule. Daniel would love to hear about it, so just share a snippet of it for us. So the 50-20-20-10 rule helps you avoid overselling your products while keeping your audience up to date with your products and services. It's like you're not in their face, but low-key, you are telling them to buy your stuff. So let's dissect what this rule looks like and let's know like different kinds of content categories we want to put out there. So we have content that's entertaining, content that's full of brand information. We have the cheerleading kind of content and we have the hard selling kind of content. I know most of us know what the entertaining part of the content is. For me, that's my favorite part. When I'm creating content, my first set of contents are based on entertainment. This is the content that your audience would enjoy. So let's say video content that is like a skit, a funny joke, but in all of that, find a way to blend your brand goals, your brand story into it. So you can post a short GIF, but at the end of the day, you can tell us this your brand slogan in it. You can use these entertaining content to pull your audience to you. So it's a sort of inbound marketing where you're getting people to love your brand, but also they are knowing more about your brand story. What is the brand information all about? It's letting your audience know more about you. So it's like reintroducing yourself to them. It's like talking about your new brand lineup that is coming up. So if I sell watches, and I want to talk about my brand information, I can tell my audience that I'm launching a new watch line. Check it out. Instead of saying that, buy my new watch line. So giving them that brand information is like calling your attention to some of the new products you have on board, but you're not telling them to buy. But when they go and check it out and they like it, they're certainly going to buy. What about cheerleading? It's all about highlighting your brand success. So recently we saw the the RTP awards. A lot of these companies put it on TV, some of them put it on social media. It's like being a cheerleader for your own brand, highlighting your brand success, not just your brand success. Talk about your staff too. Talk about your team. Showcase your new office. It's all content you can create to push your brand. And then we come to the hard selling. Hard selling. A lot of online stores these days have gone to hard selling than doing all this entertaining, brand information, cheerleading stuff. It's always click on the link to buy now. Follow our website to check out our new stuff. Everybody is using the hard selling because it's any kind of content that has a clear call to action for a customer to purchase a product, to call you, to visit your shop. So it's quite dicey. But how are you going to be online? Are you going to use the 50-20-20-10 rule? That's 50 entertainment, 20 brand information, 20 cheerleading, then 10% hard selling. But if you're looking to make money, you can also tweak it a bit. It doesn't have to follow clearly. You can do 40, 25, 20, 10. But as and when you are creating content, you should always go back to see which content is performing better than the other. Then you know that your audience, they love this kind of content you are creating. So you're going to give them more. So Daniel is talking about informative content. Yes, that's brand information that you can be giving out there. You can also use informative content in the form of entertainment, where you serve people with information that they can benefit from it, but also in an entertaining way. Naomi is talking about cheerleading can use customers' feedback to, yes, it's about testimonials. You can tell people how someone used your product, and these are their words they had to say about you. So it's a mix of information you can put out there for your business. It doesn't have to always be rigid. Know what's working for you, make some changes, adjust to what's performing, and create different content types of that specific content. So there are different kinds of content for different kinds of platforms. We have TikTok now, and for real, during the lockdown, TikTok was a place I had to be. I don't know how many of you are on TikTok, but that place, it's really good. Brands are gravitating towards TikTok. A lot of brand influencers are using TikTok to get affinity, to get traction. And I don't know, but content that works for Facebook doesn't work for TikTok. Content that works for Instagram would not work for TikTok. So I just want us to know, if you knew that there are specific content peculiar to different social media platforms. I don't know what's working for you, but if you are going on Instagram, what you're going to post there, if you come on Twitter and you do the same execution, you might as well fail, because Twitter is quite different from Instagram, and what works on LinkedIn will certainly not work on Instagram. Audrey is asking, what's the most effective way to know people like the content you put out there? Great question, Audrey. It's using your page insights. So page insights lets you know how many people have reacted to your comments, how many people have reacted to your content, how many people have commented on it, the engagement on that kind of post. So for every post, be it on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, IG, if you're on IG as a business, you'll be able to get specific insights to that post you've put out there. So you should be looking at your page insights to inform you on what post is working for you or what's not working. So let's move on from the questions. So please, if you have questions, kindly drop them in. We have 20 minutes more to go. So yeah, I'm going to give us some content tips for different platforms. We're going to look at what's going to be working for Facebook, I'm picking just 3 platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for now, because it has to be a bit rushed up. But you can always hit me up on Twitter. We can delve deeper. We can do some practicals together, etc. So, what content tips are there for Facebook? You should be able to have variety in your content. For Facebook, you can post different types of content. Facebook has now introduced new features where you can use carousel ads, you can use, long form post types, etc. So Facebook, you can have different content types. You should be able to be sharing video content, images, blogs, and even press releases on Facebook. Just like I mentioned, you should be using your page insights. So yeah, Audrey asked how she could check how a post were performing. So this is the best thing to use on Facebook. You have your Facebook page insights that gives you your 7-day to 28-day performance, your reports. You are able to know which time works best for your post, which time is not working best, where your audience location is, all of that. Page insights is a great tool to be using, and your post with questions. I just saw a post from Emmanuel. His feedback is, my pen is out, post and have a few reactions, but 0 comments. Are you asking your followers questions? How are you inspiring their engagement? Some people say, what was your first experience when you came on social media? Then you see a lot of people will start commenting. You should be able to ask questions. How is your 2020 going like after you've made a post? People would start reacting when you make them feel a part of your post. People just like it when they see a nice picture, but if you're not asking questions in your post, then it's not going to give them a part to play in it. Naomi is asking, is it okay to have one content for Facebook and Instagram since there's a link, and now the introduction of business, it makes it fun? Yes, you can post for Facebook and Instagram at the same time, but you should know your goals for those 2 platforms. If the goal is the same, and if that content type works for both audiences there, that's a good way to go. For me, I post similarly on Facebook and Instagram, and when I come to Twitter, my tone change. It changes totally, because Twitter is like a topical platform. Things move sparingly. Things begin to change on Twitter. You should be inspiring engagement and calling people to, retweet, sending their comments, etc. So yeah, what works for Facebook can work for Instagram, depending on your audience. If you know your audience, you know what they like, then you're good to go with that. You should be able to be interesting on Facebook, like create content that would draw people attentions. Like Coach Sheldon posts very funny stuff. He gets to also promote brands, so you can know that he's winning people's attention to be able to promote their brands. So yeah, send your questions if you have any. I'm taking questions as and when you have them, so we'll not wait for the last moment to ask our questions. Let's also see what works for IG. So plan your content. IG is like a very weird platform for me. That's how I see it, because it's like a 3rd-grade platform. IG works in grids, so you can see that sometimes people post, and if you go on their page, you will see that it's very in sync. Like they have different blocks of posts that come together and look as one. It's a visual platform, so you should be looking to explore that. You should be looking to explore your highlights on your IG. Plan your content, because you can't just be doing everything anyhow. Plan your content, keep your captions short, make use of your IG stories, make use of visual, text, and video content. You should be using your stories to, write text. You should be able to use IGTV. Make sure your logo is visible so that people know what brand has posted. Make sure you have quality images and videos. For anybody who was working with me would know that Nadia is a kind that would not post without having quality images. Audrey is saying she has 4,000 connections on LinkedIn, 300 follows on Twitter. Doesn't make sense. Then it means people are loving what you post on LinkedIn. Then your followers on IG, you say your followers on Twitter. Then it means you're not engaging more like you're engaging on LinkedIn. Look at what you are doing on LinkedIn, Audrey. That's making people want to connect with you. try and hop onto conversations on Twitter, because that's where you get to meet new followers and people get to see your thoughts on certain issues. Make use of carousels on IG. Make sure you're using the right hashtag. And when you post using the carousel, you should also hint people to swipe in the image. So, swipe right, swipe left, so that people will know that it's a carousel ad. Post consistently on IG there. The algorithm is really a pain in the ass, but you can always find a way to work around it and increase your content engagement on IG. And make sure you are using call to actions on IG. Make sure you are using call to actions on IG. So Emmanuel is saying about Kojo Sheldon, Ghanaians like gossip, fake news. Sorry to say, but that's the trend. If you put out an educative content, forget that you receive a little to none engagement. Yeah, it's a sad thing that's happening, but try and start promoting your ads. Then people who are looking for such content would know more about you and start following you organically. It starts from somewhere. Bernard is saying, comment protégeons nous notre content? See, I really don't understand, but it's looking like, how can you, if someone understands French, I would love the person to translate that for me. I was trying my best, but it's not working. So let's see. Bernard, if you can simply explain that for me in English, I would love that. Let's look at what works on Twitter too. How are we going to win on Twitter? So Audrey, you say you have 300 followers. So let's see what can work for you. You should be tweeting about 3 to 7 times a day to have the best results. I know that's a lot of work. But Ifeanyi Obi is saying, what's call to action? CTA, sorry, I even mentioned it. CTA is call to action. So yeah, it's like click more, call us, visit our website. So those are call to actions. People like clear directions on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. So after someone reading your educative content, what is the call to action? What do you want the person to do? Do you want the person to view more and buy your ebook? That's the call to action. Nadia, please, Bernard is asking, how do we protect our content on the platform? When you say content protection, I'm not setting on what you clearly want to say. Are you talking about people stealing your account, or people not getting misinformed about it? If you can explain further, then I would know how to explain that. Yeah. So on Twitter, we should be looking to post 3 to 7 times. It doesn't have to be all your own kind of content. Be a storyteller on Twitter. If you see what's working better for some people, you can also find a way to tweak it to also replicate what your brand is standing out there for. So you can see that on Twitter, you know the trends. Then create your content to use certain hashtags that fall in line with the trends. You should be using hashtags. Hashtags is like the only way you can succeed on Twitter. Well, not just the only way, but a very better way. Use multimedia on Twitter. Memes, GIFs, those GIFs are very powerful. Some of them are really hilarious. So try and know how to use GIFs to your benefit. Be creative with retweeting and tagging. When you're posting something that has to do with a particular platform, do well to mention and tag them. Just like I'm saying, if you're learning something new, tweet at Starboss. So you're going to be tagging me in that tweet, and you're going to be using the hashtag that is specific for this particular conference. So let's try our best and do that for me. If you have questions, just drop them in. Let's move on. We have 10 minutes to go, so let's try and maximize it. How are we able to create hashtags? Hashtags is like the petrol in our car nowadays on social media. So it increases your brand recall. It helps you retarget new audience. You're able to join brand relevant conversations. So we saw that how powerful the EdSAS hashtag went. It got a lot of recognition. We're yet to know how that has gone, but we know that the impact was worldwide and global. BB Niger, so many people didn't have DSTV, but they were able to know what was happening on the BB Niger streets, all because of social media. So hashtags are very, very powerful. I'm checking. Godwin says hi. Hi, Godwin. Send in your questions, guys. We have 8 minutes more to wrap up, just like our 8 golden rules. So yeah, a hashtag comes with rules. Some people create hashtags and not knowing how to put them together. So you see, you don't create space when you are creating hashtags. If you are creating space, then you have to use the underscore or you have to use capitalization. It depends on what you are posting, but it has to be memorable. It has to make sense. It's not just your brand name that you use as your hashtag. You should research to know some of the keywords that are working in hashtags. It should be relevant, use it anywhere, and also be consistent. So yeah, Naomi says, I started using grocery shops in Kumasi and now it's topping on Google. That's excellent. So you see, you can be a pace setter when you're using hashtags. So let's see some of the content opportunities. I'm wrapping up, like I'm rushing now because we have just 8 to 5 minutes. So let's see how we can make use of this. If you can take screenshots, do that. If you want the slides, I can share them. Just send me a tweet. I'll respond to you. So get personal, tell stories. Those stories are heartfelt. People want an emotional connection to your brand. If you attend events and conferences, post about it. Show people behind the scenes, before and after. People want to know completed works and what it means. People want testimonials. People want live videos. You know, if you are doing a Zoom call and you want to show it live on Facebook, go live on Facebook. If you have a new product, you should have someone using that product. You know, those are content opportunities. And also think of partnering with people. How do you maximize WhatsApp? Very soon, WhatsApp will be coming with a feature to pay. So I'm looking forward to that. You can use your WhatsApp. So for WhatsApp, you can use your status. You can use some of the groups you are on to maximize your promotions. But don't be bombarding people. Some groups will take you out on of their groups. Just make sure you follow the rules on WhatsApp and make the best of it. Some networks on WhatsApp are strictly for promotion. So make use of that and grow your audience on WhatsApp as well. Let's look at some of the content hacks. PCTimi shared one of her documentaries. I follow PCTimi. She's a very good digital marketing guru in Nigeria. She says to jot ideas anytime it comes to you. It happens to me too. Sometimes whilst I'm sleeping, I get a good brand caption, but I'm sleeping. So what I do is I text it on my WhatsApp so that the next day I can go back to it and build upon it. Those are like some of the things that have helped me in my content creation process. Have an inspiration list. You know, you're not God. You can't have all the things in your head. Some brands are really good with content. It doesn't mean you're not good, but you similarly copy and do better, but it has to align with your brand. You should learn how to repurpose your content. How are you going to repurpose your content? It's like reformatting what you're doing. So let's say you have a whole blog post. From that blog post, you can make a podcast out of it. After you've made your podcast out of it, you can create a video content from it. If you've done your video content, you can also create short posts from that. So you can have like a whole variety of content you have out there. So Godwin is asking how you can trend on Twitter. The best hack to use is to use influencers. How can you create a content management plan? It's a whole ball game, Paul. You have to look for places where you can create your content, have your content calendar, know your audience, your buyer persona, etc. So mine is music. I recently used Daddy Lumba's words for content. Oh, I also got another content opportunity from BB Niger. So leveraging on trends and data is the best way to, advance your content strategy and help you post consistently. Create content in bulk. I create 2 to 3 weeks content, and that helps me, find time to know what's working and what's not working. Let's look at some of the tools we need on to help us with our social media creation, content creation platforms. Bernard, I want to say, what can protect persons that use our pages, profiles? Yes. So mostly, Bernard, I try to understand that. So if I got you clearly, how we protect people who use our pages, people get hacked, etc. So make sure your platform is being managed by someone you trust apart from yourself. So let's look at some of the helpful tools we want to use. We should be using for photo content. We have Canva, we have Trello, we have Adobe Photoshop. For videos, we have Quick, we have Boomerang, we have Vid, and we have Canva too. I used Canva for my presentation. For text, to assurance of not making grammatical errors. It sucks when people see grammatical errors on your post. So use Grammarly. And Otter is a new platform I discovered. It helps you convert your audio content into social media posts for Twitter, for blog content. So try and check out Otter. You can also see Answer the Public. It's a keyword research tool you can use to know which keywords are good for your business in terms of your copywriting. If you want to create a form on social media, people are using Google Forms, people are using SurveyMonkey, people are using Typeform. So Barbara is saying how to protect information from people who use their pages, profiles for their growth, how to protect information. Like, that question was not very clear to me. Is it like people stealing your content or not? But if people are trying to take your content and if you find them, please make sure they reference you in their posts. So we have 2 minutes to go. Yeah, I didn't talk about the social media tools. We have Hootsuite for scheduling and reporting. We have Creator Studio that was done by Facebook. So it helps you to manage your post and schedule your post for Facebook and Instagram. We have Brand 24 that helps you with reporting. We have Icon O Square for reporting. We have Lata for scheduling. There are so many tools out there. So you can take a quick screenshot of this. You can ask me more questions offline, but online, that's on Twitter. Let's move to, I wanted us to do a practical, but let's move from the practical and go to how to develop your social media content. So one thing I would say is you should do it yourself, but be patient. You can try and learn before you become perfect, but don't be too hard on yourself. Create your social media calendar. It helps very, very well. Know what you want to post. Now that we've seen so many content opportunities, try and do it yourself. They are giving me 1 minute to wrap up. So hire a photographer if you need it. What do you mean by reporting? So it's like your analytics on social media. If you want to get your analytics on social media, you should get that. Subscribe to a stock, hire a photographer. These are some of the social media content tips. Have a marketing plan, a social media calendar, use social media scheduler, test new formats. There are so many things you can do out there. Finally, you have to manage your conversation. Don't just post, but come back to your comments to see what people are commenting about, etc. Inspire brand trust. Let's know that there's no marketing without content. Create your content and it must be rewarding and relevant. Bella says people will copy and paste your content. If you find them, please warn them and tell them to take the post down. Let's remember to test new formats. Don't be rigid with social media. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks so much, guys. I'll be taking some questions. We have a few minutes to get some questions. So let me just go back to the content opportunities and content marketing tips. Let's just go over that again. You should have a content marketing plan. Thanks so much, Claire. I'm so glad you were here to make it. Audrey says, I want to know know what you want to post. I already have to work on my Twitter. Yes, you should work on your social media platforms, but you shouldn't be everywhere because someone is everywhere. No one works for your brand. Know which platform works for your business, your startup. Don't be everywhere. You should have a social media content plan. I would share that. So if you want that, kindly send me a tweet or something for a sample content plan. Thanks so much, Daniel. Take advantage of live video, test new format. It's going to be great if you make some time for your social media. So just don't be doing everything everyhow. Know what works for yourself, know what works for your brand. At the end of the day, you know what your objective is for social media. So thanks so much, guys. You can drop in your questions. I'm just going to create a poll. Did you like my presentation?